is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and I'm back with Robbie Hull, my co-host. Season 10, Robbie, what do you think?
That's pretty crazy now,
Isn't
Kathy?
it? I can't believe we've been doing this. You've been doing this for 9 years with us. You joined us in the second year, and we've been doing this for 10 years. So first day back, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Joining us today is Smith Falls Prevention Officer Jason Smith. Thank you for taking the time to start the season 10 off with us today.
Well, thank you, Robbie, for having me. I'm glad to be part of your season 10 broadcast.
How long have you been a firefighter, and how long have you been a fire prevention officer?
So I've been in the fire service into my 30th year now, and I've been fire prevention with the town of Smith Falls going into my 3rd year.
Did you go to school for this?
No, I didn't take any schooling for it. The only schooling, I should say, didn't take any schooling. The schooling I did take was over the course of my career. So through the fire college, there's different courses and certifications that I have to obtain. So over my 30-year career, I've taken different courses. And then with all the new restrictions and the certifications for fire departments and firefighters, I've been able to get all my certifications that I require. So I didn't physically take a program or go away for pre-service or anything like that, but I did over the years through the fire department get my courses and classes that I need.
Fire Prevention Week is coming up. Can you tell us when it is?
Yeah, so this year fire prevention feels a little early. It feels like it's coming on us pretty quick. So October 5th to the 11th is Fire Prevention Week this year.
Last year you were here and the theme was smoke alarms. Make them work for you. What is the theme this year?
So this year they're doing charge into fire safety, lithium ion batteries in your home.
What are some examples for aluminum batteries and what they are used for?
I think if you look around in your home, there's multiple pieces of equipment, i.e. smartphones, laptops, iPads, even your lawnmowers, power tools, drills, saws. Your cars now carry batteries, right? Those are big ones. So, and they come in all shapes and sizes. To little guys to, like I say, they power motor vehicles now, or not motor vehicles, but electric vehicles, right, in your home. So they're all over the place. Common toys for your kids. They're used in a multiple variety of different things now.
What is the safety way to charge those batteries?
So we always recommend when you're charging your batteries, put them on a nice solid surface. So like like your coffee table, or kitchen table, or even down on your floor, as long as it's not touching anything that's combustible.
Can you talk about the use for proper cause to use to charge the batteries, as well as the use of extension cords?
Yeah, so we always want to make sure when you buy a piece of equipment like that, your cell phones or any of your tablets or your computers, they all come with a cord, right? And those cords are all CSA approved. They've been designed to work with that item. And if you do need to replace those cords, definitely do your research on them. Do some Google's our tool for everything now, right? Look it up, they say. Go online and make sure you get a good cord when you do have to replace them. And extension cords, as much as people like to use extension cords, the fire department doesn't like extension cords because, again, they're temporary means of getting you power. You should plug any device like that directly into an outlet, so then that way if there is a problem, the breakers can trip a lot quicker than it can with an extension cord. Extension cords have a tendency to heat up, especially if they're not the proper length and gauge of wire in them for the size of the power that's being drawn out of them.
If a battery catches on fire, what should you do?
Well, the first thing right off the bat, we want you to evacuate your home, right? We don't want you to stay in there and try and put it out because it's going to, potentially you could burn yourself or, cause harm to you. Definitely get out, call 911. And yeah, those batteries, when they explode, I'm sure we've all seen them on Facebook and TikTok and stuff, and especially with the e-bikes that everybody has and scooters. It's like a matter of seconds when those things explode, and when they do that, they have toxic gases and fumes that come out of those batteries, right? Mm-hmm. So even if you're trying to fight the fire, you're going to be overcome with the smoke from those batteries. And yeah, we want you to get out of the house, call us, and let us come in, and we'll deal with those fires for sure.
Firefighters have a lot of equipment they need to wear when they go to a fire. When it's a very hot out and you need to fight a fire, how do you handle the heat and the hot weather in the fire?
Yeah, as much as that gear protects us from fire, it also holds in our heat as well with the different moisture barriers and different layers in the gear. So for us on a hot day, we always try and get our staff to take their clothes off or take their gear off, like, dress down is what we call it. So we're sitting in basically our regular clothes, right? The other thing is keep hydrated. So make sure we're drinking lots of water, make sure there's some food to, get nutrients back into our system. A lot of times if we're fighting a big fire like that, we have a rehabilitation site set up to kind of get us through the motion. So again, it could be we have fans set up at that thing, at the location, I should say, which helps cool our body temperature down. There's cooling chairs, they call them, right? You can put your elbows down in the chairs where it's circulating water to help kind of cool your inner core down. And overall, it's just to try and dress down and get the heat out and make sure everybody has a chance to rest. And if it's a really, really hot day and we're at a fire, we'll call the EMS or the paramedics in to kind of make sure they watch our vitals and stuff too, so we don't get too much heat stroke or stress.
What would you tell people who say they want to be a firefighter? What should they do to be prepared?
I would say it's a great profession to be in. Either it's a career for you, or even as a volunteer firefighter. One thing I do suggest, research it like you do anything else. It does mentally and physically take a toll on you, and to be a firefighter, either career or volunteer, it turns into a lifestyle in a way. So it's not only you that it affects your whole family. And again, take that in consideration, because trust me, it's rewarding because it's a family outside of your family, but then it also pulls you away from your immediate family. If you're on call, especially in a volunteer capacity, you're always being pulled away from those birthdays, you're being pulled away from the wedding anniversaries, you're being pulled away in the middle of the night, to go and help somebody. But that's why we're there to help people, right? That's why you have that you want to serve and give back to your community. The other thing with that is, you can take different courses too. Like we were talking about, you were asking about my certifications and courses I took. If somebody's wanting to get into a career, you can get into pre-fire service now, which I think is like a year and a half long courses, and there's multiple, like Algonquin College, St. Lawrence College. They all have programs. I think they're a year and a half, and they'll give you it's basically a condensed version of everything I've taken over the last 30 years, right? And again, physicality, it helps to be fit for sure. It's definitely a cardio type of job. You don't have to be the biggest and strongest strapping lad out there, but if you have good cardio, that does help. And again, just to prepare for those interviews, there's different interviews and testing and stuff, right? So there's more than just there's a lot that goes into it, and it depends on which avenue you want to do, right? You can be a volunteer, you still have to do your interviews, you still have to, do some physical testing, or you can go the other route. To become a career firefighter, it's a lot more in depth. There's usually a lot more competition for it, right? But usually I know even for myself, once I kind of got the bug as a volunteer, that I chose that career path, I wanted to do this full time. It was something that they were going to pay me for, basically, and I already enjoyed it, so.
How do people get more information and contact you?
Yeah, so anybody can call up the fire department. We have a non-emergency line, 613-283-5869. Extension 0 gets you into the staff that's on duty. And again, it could be a firefighter. We're in the process of hiring. Going to hire some new dispatchers, so it could be one of our dispatching staff that you may be talking to. They'll make sure that your message gets to the proper people it needs to, or you can reach out to myself at jsmith@smithsfalls.ca if you have any other information that you require.
Thank you, Lieutenant Jason Smith, for being here with us today to talk about Fire Prevention Week. These are all good things to know so we can prevent fires.
It is. And thank you, Robbie, for having me again. I always enjoy having your talks with you.
I have a couple questions about batteries.
Yes.
Charging them. You said put them on a hard surface. Too often you see people doing it at nighttime in their bed, under their pillow, on a nightstand.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely, I should have said that. Yeah, so, we all have teenage kids. We all do it ourselves, I think, at some time, right? You're in the phones, you're in bed scrolling, and then all of a sudden you fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah, the worst thing for them is to leave them on your bed, to have them on your couch, charge them. They do create heat when they're charging. So what happens with that is they do tend to overheat, right? And then different fabrics and stuff in your cottons and stuff, they do at a certain point can auto ignite if your phones get too hot. And they can't breathe, or they get thermal runaway, which they call it as well. So it's just the battery breaks down and they spontaneously combust. So we definitely, if you can put them on a nightstand away from everything, that's the best. Even leave them on the kitchen table or something, right? Kind of make a safe spot. But yeah, all too often you find them under pillows. We've had calls where they've been shoved down inside couches.
Wow, yeah.
And they've just auto ignited. They've overheated for some reason, and they've started the fabric on fire because fabric's quite flammable, right?
Yeah, and what about the length of time it takes?
Oh, for one of those,
yeah.
It's a matter of I want to say split seconds, because you might walk into the house and go, oh, I kind of smell a smell, because
Right.
it will give off an odor as they're starting to get ready to explode or whatever. But then it's just a matter of minutes, seconds, and
Right.
they've already exploded. And by that point, the sparks will go everywhere, and it doesn't take long from that point on.
Right.
Matter of a minute or so, and you can have a pretty out of control fire going for sure.
And I mean, in terms of your cell phone and like an iPad too, it doesn't take that long to charge them up. Again, they don't need to be charged all night for 8 hours while you're sleeping as well either.
No, and that's the other thing. Once they do come to charge, unplug them. They don't need to be sitting there still trying to want to charge or discharge. Some of them will even have some of the electronics have a function where they'll fully charge and then they'll discharge themselves and then they'll fully charge, right? But that's still creating heat as they're charging and discharging themselves. So we want to make sure once they're charged, if it's the 3 to 4 hours, that's why we always recommend read your owner's manual.
Right.
When you get your electronic device. I know everybody's like, yeah, whatever, and they throw it out. But definitely pay attention to it. If it says put it on for 2 hours, then charge it for 2 hours, and unplug it. That's the best thing you can do.
Right. And again, like with all batteries, we shouldn't be putting them in the landfill.
No. Definitely don't put batteries in your landfill. We just responded here last week. Somebody threw out a cell phone, I guess. The recycling truck here just across the road. Luckily, he saw it, caught fire. He dumped his load out so we could fight the fire, and in the middle of it was a cell phone.
It was a cell phone that
He
did
found
that.
it.
Wow.
He found the cell phone because he saw where the fire was, and when he pulled the cardboard back before we got there, and it was physically a cell phone somebody threw out in the garbage, and then just with it being compacted when they crushed the truck, it was enough to snap the battery or cause it to explode, and then obviously cardboard's quite flammable, and it started the cardboard on fire. So
Right.
So you can reach out, go online, and there's different websites you can Google that. Look it up, right? My wife's always saying, look it up right? When I have a question. So go online. There is a website. I didn't bring it with me today, but it'll give you any locations. If you type in, go to that website, and it'll ask you for your postal code, or it'll ask you for your town, and it'll actually give you different locations. And there are different ones in town that have battery drop-offs, and then they dispose of them or give them to the proper people to deal with them.
Right. Now, I know this is more the Fire Department Association question, or not even a question, comment.
Yeah.
What a busy summer you guys have had.
They have.
You have been at barbecues, bike nights, Old Home Week, you're at the Heritage House Museum, you're everywhere, and car washes, and I mean, you guys have got some of the best burgers.
Yeah, they've had definitely a little bit of claim to fame there with the burgers. It's something, gets the association and the fire department out in the public, and we see people, we can have those fire safety talks. It also gives a little bit of money back to the association to make sure they keep afloat, and helps them, maintain some old trucks that we have, and we have a building that the association uses as well. So that money all comes back, and everybody seems to look forward to it, and it's quick and simple for the girls and guys and girls to do, right?
Right. Well, it's wonderful to see you at all these events and everything too, and making sure you keep us safe in our homes and businesses as well too. So
we did have a couple other things, if I could mention, Kathy. Pull the Pumper events coming up. September 27th.
Yes.
It's from 10 to 3, and it's down at the community center here in Smiths Falls. It's $250 for a team to register. And you can go online, our Facebook page on the Firefighters Association. You can go online there, and it can give you a registration form, or you can register that day. It's a bit of a family fun day too. So the Pull the Pumper, the event starts at 1 o'clock for teams to pull the truck. And again, some bragging rights, some take-home little trophies or whatever they have lined up for them. The family fun day stuff is, we have some local vendors that are going to be there with some treats and different knickknacks that the local vendors have here in town. The DBIA has loaned us some of their yard games, so they'll be set up. Definitely Excellent. A truck or two will be down there to touch the truck. I'll have a booth set up as we're starting to roll into fire prevention, and then Test Your Smoke Alarm Day is coming up quite shortly here on the 28th, so I'll have some information on that as well. So
Excellent.
Definitely a good event. It gets us out in the community, and we can have everybody likes to see a big red shiny fire truck, right?
And be able to
Sparky
pull
should be
it as
around
well.
too.
Yeah. So that is September 27th.
Yes.
September 27th.
Yeah, 10 to 3 o'clock, and Pull the Pump is at 1.
At 1 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
We look forward to that.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Yeah, and then just as we're rolling into that, on September 28th is Test Your Smoke Alarm Day,
Right.
which we're trying to encourage. So we want everybody to go around to their homes, test their smoke alarms, because smoke alarms only have a 10-year life.
Right.
We want you to make sure you check your batteries once a month, and again, annually change your battery. And we'd actually put it out on our Facebook page. We'd love to see is testing your smoke alarms on September 28th, and just post a picture of it on our Facebook page. It'd be awesome, so we could share it. Yeah, it'd be a great thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we will do that for sure. We'll do that for sure.
And then we're going to follow up with, I know we were talking about fire prevention and charge into fire safety. So for us this year, we're obviously going to get around to the schools and do our annual fire drills and stuff, Kathy. To wrap that up, October the 11th from 10 to 1, we're going to try and we're going to host an open house at our fire hall. So you can come up. Again, we'll have some information on lithium-ion batteries, some take home for the kids, some small refreshments, but you'll be able to chit chat with the firefighters there. again, touch a truck, look at some of the equipment, and yeah, it should be fun to see the community come out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. We look forward to it. We look forward to it. Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much for taking
thank
the
you.
time today. I know you've been busy. You've got your what is it, Fire Prevention Week coming
Yeah,
up,
yes,
and everything
yes.
else that you do too. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us
Thank
today
you.
and helping us kick off season 10. Hey, Rob?
Awesome.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks you guys.